All right, this is an outstanding read. It's difficult for you people that have a real set idea of God, and you can't change your ideas, because God in the Gnostic text is not the God that you see in the New Testament. He's the Old Testament God, and that is not the true God, apparently. Now, take it for or leave it. I'm not trying to sway anybody. I'm just telling you what it says in the Gnostic text. And the Gnostic texts were the texts that were written by the principles. Jesus, they were recorded as he said things by Thomas, doubting Thomas. These were the things that were done and said by the actual principles, and they were taken out of the biblical texts, and they supplemented. They took them all out, and they put in the four canonical texts, whatever it is, the texts that are authorized. The rest of them were supposed to be burnt and destroyed and all that, and they buried them. And then they were found the virtually same year that Israel was set up to be reestablished. All this stuff was written years and years and years ago. Enoch wrote all about this. He said it was going to happen in 70 generations. And to me, I'm seeing we're that generation. So you do your own research. I don't really care if you like it or you don't like it, or you want to go with it or you don't want to go with it. So I'm trying not to push anybody for anything, and don't push back at me and attack me, because this is what I'm just showing you what it is. All right, so go to this and read this. It's very interesting, and it's not at all what we were taught, and way not what we were taught. Now, I'm doing this all on the Fair Use Act. I'm not trying to make any money on it or anything. So that's the story, and I'll give you another quick minute or two. All right, I highly recommend spoken scripture. Fabulous voice, very, very nicely done, and easy to listen to, and she's done a ton of these, and she's very, very good. So, and again, I'm doing this a Fair Use Act. Just going to show it so you can see what it says in the Gospel of Thomas in a nice voice, other than mine.
And written on the text missing, of the generations of the stars through the generations of people, they have planted trees in my name without fruit in a shameful way. Jesus said to them, you are the ones presenting the offerings at the altar you have seen. That is the God you serve. And
you see that? I want to stop it right there. That is the God you serve, Yaldabaoth. Now he's talking to his 12 disciples, and he's basically telling them that they are not thinking correctly.
And you are the 12 men you have seen. And the cattle brought in are the offerings that you have seen. They are the multitude you lead astray before that altar. The ruler of this world.
You see that? These are the multitude that you lead astray. His own 12 disciples.
Will stand and use my name in this manner, and generations of pious people will cling to him. After him another man will come forward from those who are immortal, and another will come from the child killers, and another from those who have sex with men and those who abstain, and the rest of those who are impure and lawless and prone to error, as well as those who say, we are like angels. They are the stars that bring everything to its end. For the generations of people it has been said, look, God has received your offerings from the hands of the priests. That is a minister of errors. But it is the Lord who commands all, who is the Lord of all. On the last day they will be put to shame. Jesus said to them, stop sacrificing. Text missing. That you have. Text.
All right, after this it goes on. But the point I want to make here is that this is the book of Judas, and Judas, obviously everybody knows Judas was a betrayer of Christ and sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Well, the book of Judas tells a story that he was selected specifically by Christ to do this very nasty deed, which he did, and destroyed his own self in the doing of this deed, which was an incredible sacrifice. Now, he was the only one worthy of this, Christ said. And they had a vision, the disciples, and they had brought it to Christ, and he said, the people that you saw in this vision were you. You are serving the wrong God, is what he said. I'm just telling you, it's what he said. Now, God of Jesus, who is his Father, sent Jesus here to straighten the situation out, is really what happened. And instead of straightening it out, Yaldabaoth got the Pharisee up against Christ, to rebel against him, to destroy him, to put down this, but they just couldn't stop the fire from burning. So the point being is that the real God that we really want to find is the God of light. And Yaldabaoth is a god of sort of bad things. And you can read all about it if you want to go deep. There's like 8 eons that down real low, and he's in that 8 eon area, apparently. We want to be up in the 13th, 12th, 13th eon area, which is in the light side of the universe. So you have a right side and a left side, basically, is the way they speak of it. And the right side is the light portion, and the left side is the darkness. And chaos and torment and torture, really, is what it boils down to. And Yaldabaoth apparently is the leader of the place where people are sent to be tortured and held in eternity. That's what it says. Now, so if you follow the God that says you can do whatever you want and sin and come back and say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, and then you just do it again and so forth. That's really not, I don't think, going to work out for you, but, who knows. I would start looking into these Gnostic texts. Enoch spoke with God. Thomas wrote the words right down, just sayings. Jesus said this, Jesus said that, Jesus said this, Jesus said that. And what Jesus said was, you better start searching and search and search and search until you find the answers, and don't stop searching until you do. And then again, he said, to be unfull is terrible, and to be full is terrible. So what does that mean? It means that you need to continuously search, and when you think you're full, you're really not full. You're just not searching enough. So, do what you want to. That's what I'm saying. It's all I see. And I think if you start looking into this, it would behoove you to do it. But, again, that's just my point. Alright, thank you. I hope you enjoy this stuff. I do.